Hi, I'm Samantha Moore with PWY, Professional Women in Yachting, and this is Katie Glazer from Below Deck Season 10. We're doing a women empowerment collaboration with yachtchefs.com, and we're going to have a little chat about what it's like to be the famous Katie Glazer. Hi, Katie. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, woo! Go girls!
Yeah.
Girls on deck. So obviously you're on Below Deck, and which is so cool. I have a few neighbors that were on it.
Thank
you know them.
Yes.
Shout out Season 1, Ryan Kattenberg. And he's had a really great experience with it. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like to be on the show?
You know, it was really cool. When I went on the show, the biggest basis for me was kind of, I'd never been on a boat that big. So to be able to overcome all the challenges of being on deck as a woman was super cool to overcome. I definitely came in a little bit nervous because again, it's a lot of work and the boat was a monster. But just, working through it and realizing that, it doesn't matter if it's a 40-footer, a 200-footer. Being on deck is hard for women. You definitely have to hold your own. But, I like to sweat, I like to be outside, and I like to be in the sun.
Well, it sounds like on deck is what you're made for.
Yep.
I was a stew, and we had to always help with like lines and fenders. And I gotta tell you, those fenders are freaking heavy. Sometimes like the whole interior would team to help the outside. We would like do it, and our captain would be like, "Why does it take 3 girls to move this one fender?" And I'm like, "Dude, have you seen this thing? It's just a wrecking ball." And it's definitely scientifically, men are stronger.
Yes.
So I can see how you would struggle a little bit. I mean, you're tiny, but hey, you know what? You're strong. And I think being on deck is a testament to what women can do in this industry, and we have no boundaries.
That is true, and obviously it's intimidating. When you go to pick up these fenders, you're like, holy shit, this is 4 times the weight of me.
And move fast.
And this is an industry, you better be walking fast everywhere you go. So it's just, that's the biggest thing is you get nervous that the lines are going to be too heavy, the fenders are going to be too heavy. But it's all about, in the inside, you realizing, you can do this, and you can be one of the boys, and, work just as hard.
Yeah, I think that, seeing women on deck and female captains on that show really should encourage women to take on these roles that maybe they're a little intimidated by and maybe not so sure of. You might be surprised that you might flourish in these roles and be better than the boys.
Right.
We know that. But is it hard to work in a male-dominated exterior team?
I think it's all about obviously the team you have, the team you're working with, and on my season we all were a solid unit. So it was really cool because the boys played off on certain things that I just couldn't pick up and carry. They'd step in by the end. I was pulling the trampoline and doing that all by myself. So, I think it's definitely intimidating, but if you have a solid exterior crew with you and they're not, the type that are putting you down for being a woman and kind of, bringing you up that you can do it, it's empowering and it's fun.
I have a question. How many calories a day do you think you can burn on deck?
I swear, I was eating pasta and rice on the show the entire time, and I came out 94 pounds.
Damn.
So, you were
on deck, diet.
Yeah, you are literally dripping in sweat. And I joke with people, I have not been inside of a gym in years. It's working on deck and sweating. That's literally a workout in itself. So
I see these deck girls, and they are heaving and hoeing, and when you try that with the lines, I mean, how can you not get ripped triceps? I want that. I don't have the gumption for it currently, but hey, I'm never afraid to get dirty, and I think, like you said, if you can find a yacht where everybody feels cohesive as a team, then you're happy to help out anywhere, in the galley, in the engine room, in the bridge, on deck. I think that no shouldn't be an option, which is a motto for yachting. You never say no to the guests, but how about never say no on board to to learning a new task.
And that's so true. You know, I like on our season, I swear I was a dishwasher. You know, I was helping out in the galley almost every meal. You know, you're helping prepare the parties with the interior team. You're helping serve when they need you. You know, you are one unit and it shows. And if you're not willing to kind of jump in where needed, you know, it's, you know, I don't think.
It's a disservice to
it's a disservice because honestly,
everything.
to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I had Captain Sandy jumping in to help me with the slide and
I saw that.
and the jet skis and like
awesome.
that's so cool. It's so cool to see, you know, she's realizing that, you know, again, we're one big team and, you know, it definitely comes off when one person doesn't hold their weight.
Yeah. That's just amazing. Where was your boat at in the
It was in
season?
St. Lucia.
How was that?
St. Lucia was beautiful. The pitons were awesome, and
So beautiful.
I just recently got back to the Caribbean, so it was, you know, cool to be back in those waters.
Yeah, you were just telling me you were in St. Thomas, St. Bart's, St. Martin.
Yeah, so
That's
yes,
cool.
yeah,
So
and
now you do like
BBIs.
a little delivering, or you work on a specific vessel. What are you doing
So-
now after the show?
So right now, I'm freelancing as a mate, and obviously along with that, doing deliveries. You know, I'm doing charter brokering sales, and then, you know, I'm trying to get into the sales side of brokering because that's what I wanted to do when I very first moved here to Florida.
Hard to get your license as a female, huh?
Yes, it is. You know, definitely. Once again, you're in a male-dominated industry, and you know, kind of got to show the boys that, you know, you can sell and people can take you seriously as well.
Well, I think that they'll come around eventually, but I was speaking with actually a representative of the state, Chip LaMarca, about potentially changing how people are licensed. I think that it should be a test, just like a real estate test. If you have the knowledge, you may sell yachts.
I agree with that. I agree. I think, yeah,
Well,
like
why not?
to go through real estate, I mean, that test you have to study for. So,
Right,
you know,
let's study for a yacht broker's test.
exactly.
And not be this sponsored boys club.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And allow us women to sell yachts. I think they're scared.
You know,
they know
yeah,
we'll dominate.
that is true. That
I don't
is
blame
true.
them for wanting to keep us at bay, but
And
not,
I definitely,
not for long.
yeah, and I definitely think, you know, yeah, I mean, sales on the yacht brokering side has definitely been, you know, a lot more male dominated. So it's cool to start seeing now more women want to get in that side, want to learn, want to, you know, again, do what the boys can do.
We're sharks too.
That is true.
We're no
That
baby
is
sharks.
true. That is true.
We're mama sharks.
Yeah, we are.
And we can get nasty too. Not
That-
nasty, but like, you know, it's a tough industry to be in.
And it's sink or swim. You know, you figure
Yeah.
it out or you don't. And, you know, you're going to have deals taken from you. You're going to have
It's
deals go
sharky.
through. And you have to be able to, you know, take the wins when you can and then take obviously the losses because it's hard mentally. And you have to be able to have that mindset that
Right.
I'm going to get a gazillion no's before I get a yes.
Well, it's like any industry. I think there's like a misconception that it's just the marine industry that's this, you know, sexist, misogynistic boys club. But like you said before, you were working at another corporate job, and it's the same thing. It's a universal issue that I think we need to address.
Yeah, I definitely think it's in any industry. You know, our industry again is, you know, you're dealing with the more 5%ers that, you know, have all this money, but you know, you're in corporations that it's the same way. So, you know, I think you know, we have the same issues.
Yeah. How do you think we can progress as women in any industry?
I think again, you just need more women to speak up and to kind of hold their own. I know when, you know, people realize they're not going to push me around, they take me seriously. They actually, you know, are willing to then help me. But I had to kind of put in that like tough demeanor, like, you know, I'm not going to put up with this and really hold my own. And that's, you know, in this industry and other industries I've been in, you know, you really as a woman have to really hold your own for people to take you seriously and for people to really, you know, take that risk to having a woman, you know, come on board.
I find that sometimes I want to hold my own, but I also don't want to be labeled a bitch. And I find that when I sometimes stand my ground, I am labeled a bitch. And not that I really care that much, but I always think, man, if I was a man and said that or did that, nobody would think twice. So it's just so sucky that like you have to really be extra.
I mean, that
on
is
top of it.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean that is true. A lot. Like I get told I'm bossy all the time. I'll take it, but
Right.
it's
Boss
just
bitch.
like whatever. That's the boss babe mentality. But like you definitely come off more, and people are like, oh wow, she was a total
Take no
bitch.
shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they also, in another respect that I'm sticking up for myself. So
Right.
you get double plays. You have some people that really respect that, and then people. But again, no one's ever gonna, not 100% of people are ever gonna like
Right.
you. So you have to be able to take it and constructive criticism. And if I come off as a bitch, fine. I'll work from that and learn from that and keep on moving.
Good attitude. I like that positivity, and I think it is a lot to do with mindset. You can be knocked down 100 times, but if you get up 101, then you're doing good.
That is so true. And so many times, I just feel like, I'm at the bottom, but one day you're in the bottom, one day you're at the top, and you have to be able to, take
It's
the
a roller
hits.
coaster, baby.
Yeah, take the hits and, stand back up, and every day is a new day.
Do you get a lot of DMs on social media from trashy guys like trying to date you or hit on you because you're like this hot thing from below deck, and like how does that work?
It's just funny, the amount of DMs, like obviously they've increased like with me going on the show, but the amount of DMs that come in all the time are just really funny. You either have people that are constantly, saying very sexual things to you, bribing you, this, that, or the other.
Do you drop your Venmo in there? Do you get money?
I have never actually done that,
You should try it. You might get some
but
weirdos that
it's
send you
hilarious.
$1,000.
Yeah, it is funny because I do have so many people that say, I want to pamper you, send me your Venmo. I just personally haven't done that. But, but then you have a lot of people that are negative on the negative side, and you just have to be able to take those DMs, and I kind of laugh at them, and they kind of give you that, like, I'm like, the fact they took that time of day to send me something mean, is just funny. And
Feel bad for
you
those
just,
people.
you just, you end up, like, just, like deleting it and just moving on. You can't let those messages, because I know a lot of people in the media world and being on TV shows, you get so much negative shit all the time, and you really have to be able to, like, again, in your head, not let that stuff bother you, because it definitely, if I read every single and psychoanalyzed every single, it would definitely affect you. So you just kind of got to brush it off, and, obviously they're talking about you, so, at the end of the day, you're still in their head.
Can I fix this mic though? Because if it's rubbing against this, we're screwed.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, well, I don't know. I might give out my Venmo, just feel them out.
I did see like how much I can get.
Have you gotten a lot of work from being on Below Deck? Do you think it was like beneficial for your career?
I think you have, again, the pros and cons. Some boats aren't gonna like, the publicity, the stuff, people recognizing me. More private boats aren't gonna want that. Or you have to be careful too, because, however the show plays you, you could get gigs canned from that, from that as well. The show portrayed me as a hard worker, which I am. So I really did come out on top, and I've gotten a ton of opportunities to expand, different people wanting to help me, different people wanting me to promote their brands.
PWY loves you.
And yeah, and it's really cool to and you really want to back the brands that you believe in as well.
Right.
And not just every brand that comes at you, after the show.
Were you given shit for hooking up with your boss?
I was given a lot of shit about Ross. A lot.
I had to go there.
I do.
I'm a fan, so I need to know these things.
I do regret, allowing him to, treat me like that. I think it's kind of sad, because, people that really cared about me, thought that I allowed this guy to, hook up with me and then go be all over all these other girls. They know me and they know I'm not like that in real life. So to them, it was kind of hard for them to watch that because I am that strong-willed person that would never allow that in my real life. So in aspects, I did get a lot of shit about Ross, just because people were like, why did you keep going back? And, it's you're on a boat, you're trapped, and, it could have gone two ways. It would have been, sincerely awkward from there on out, if things would have ended bad. You also have to realize, I was, hooking up with my boss. So that also, you have to realize, like, it's more awkward when he has to reprimand you or, when you want to talk back because, you're hooking up with him, but, like, you're out of line for that. So I definitely regret, hurting some people that had to see that because, that's just not who I am in real life. And again, like, I'm that strong kind of boss babe mentality. And,
right.
A lot of points in the show, it showed me kind of weak in going back. So
did your parents give you shit?
My parents were actually very supportive. I mean, the sound, some of the sounds in the bedroom, were very, very cringeworthy. But, my family definitely, has been one of my biggest supporters regardless of what I've wanted to accomplish in life.
So awesome.
So, it wasn't one of my proudest moments.
Sorry
I don't know. No, not at all.
I wonder because I'm like, oh my God, if my dad saw this, I would die.
Yeah, it definitely, made you question a lot and made you think about, the decisions I made.
Hey, that's so awesome that you have such a supportive foundation and family behind you. I think I love my family and, I can't imagine without them, like, my life. And I could never be on Below Deck. I could barely do this podcast. But, yeah, I mean, they would be supportive to anything that my heart desired. So that's awesome. I'm so happy that you have that.
Thank you.
So Below Deck's behind you. Will you do it again?
I would do it again if they casted me, for sure.
Do they reach out to you? Like, how does that work?
You never know. Like, sometimes they reach out about different things, and you never really know. Again, I feel like it's semi-harder to come back a second or third season being on deck because there's only one girl on deck per season. So the odds are kind of a little bit more, against you. But I definitely, I would definitely be, definitely would go for another season. And, and there's other people and other shows that have hit me up and, we'll see. We'll see where it takes me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if not Below Deck or another fabulous TV show, what do you have planned for the future?
Again, I'm going to, I really love being on the water. That's my passion. I just am the happiest when I'm on the water. So, for right now, I'm going to continue to freelance as a first mate. Definitely I want to dig into this brokering side of things because, obviously when I moved to Florida, that's what I wanted. That was my passion. And realizing I needed to learn about the boats, beyond the boats, understand the boats before just going to get my broker's license. So, now that I do and have that extensive knowledge and have, the social backing and a lot more, followers and people looking at me, I would love to get more into the brokering side. And then I do charter broker sales as well.
Awesome. So you mentioned that you were starting a website, Top B. B is in
yes,
babe.
Top Babe.
Top
yes.
Babe.
Yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about what that's going to entail. I know you said it's in the works, so it's not ready yet, but soon to come.
Yes,
tell
soon
us a
to
little
come.
bit about that.
It's really cool to see, I am in a male-dominated position on deck. So it's, it's empowering women to work hard and not be afraid to get your hands dirty, not be afraid to, break a sweat and to, challenge yourself. Again, when I looked at the Below Deck boat, I was like, holy shit, like, I don't know if I can do this. So that show was such a challenge on myself. And it just made me realize how much more I can do, and I can do everything the boys can do. So it's really empowering women to work hard and to not be afraid to get out on deck, not be afraid to get your hands dirty and, really put in where where your passion is and to be happy. I'm happiest when I'm out on deck, and just that sense of just running with the boys is kind of been really freaking awesome. So it's Top B, and it will be coming soon, and I'm super excited for it.
Well, we're super excited for you, and we hope to have you back soon and follow your journey. And I hope you get back on Below Deck, because I loved watching you on deck.
Well, thank you. Thank
awesome
you.
on deck. I would hire you on my yacht any day. You can tender my fenders.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thanks so much for being on our podcast.
And thank you so much for having me.
Of course. It's been so wonderful. What a great conversation. And we'll do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
This is PWY, Get With the Tides, and collab with yachtchefs.com. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye, guys.